Hello. Hello, everyone. Hope all is good. Hope all is good. They're going to do an impromptu uh, live stream here. I'm going to do a little bit of digital drawing today just because I felt like it. Because I felt like it. So, we are here in the good old Clip Studio Paint. And, yeah, we're just going to draw away. I've been doing some more Joe Mad studies just because I want to. We're going to go ahead and open up this app here. This app, if you're not familiar with it, is an amazing app. It's called PureRef. It's a free app you can download, and you can literally just drag photos from the internet and just drag it right in there in one nice big file, and you can zoom in, and it has an always on top setting, so no matter what, you can always have it on your screen, which is pretty handy. So, like, I love that guy. That dude's awesome. I love it. But anyway, so yeah, those are some things you can do. You can, adjust the opacity on it, or you can just hide it completely. But yeah, so I'm just kind of learning, just kind of studying how he does some of his gestures and stuff like that. I thought this was kind of a cool piece for seeing how he breaks it down. I know it's pretty pixelated probably on the screen, but it still gives me enough to see where he was going with it. So, um, yeah, so I don't know. Depending on how long we go today, I'm not sure if I'll have anything finalized or not. And before anyone says it, yes, I'm fully aware my background is boring, but this will not be my primary setup. I ordered some stuff I needed to do the face cam while I do the traditional art, so hopefully that should be here relatively soon. I'm hoping when I do my Monday stream, I'll be able to do both. But yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. We'll have to see how that goes. Alrighty. Yeah, just trying to get better at doing my loose gestures and figuring out figure work. I'm not necessarily trying to recreate any of these drawings. I'm just kind of looking at them for, just kind of looking at them for reference, inspiration, that kind of stuff. Seeing how he does certain things, like the way he does this real sharp angle, sharp line on that quad there. I really like that look, so I kind of want to keep that, especially in his gesture and his, prelims. He's got those big legs. Of course, his character's pretty giant, so we'll give him a big old thing here. Big old shoulder. I guess I am kind of recreating it. Oh well. Yeah, this is something I tend to do a lot when especially when I'm digitally sketching. I'll kind of do a real loose sketch, and then I'll shrink it, move it off to the side, do another one, kind of treat it like a digital sketchbook. He's got the hand here. forearm. Big old blade. Something like that. Maybe. Yeah, he's got all that hair in his face. He's got the way that traps drop down and then goes into that deltoid. That's kind of cool. And then shapes it down and kind of angles it. Something kind of like that. I don't know. It's kind of a... He doesn't really get in any facial gestures here, but that's okay. We can build on that. Yeah, but one thing he really does is right in here, he really emphasizes that. Well, because that's his character too. This is, I think, Death from Darksiders. So he's meant to be a little bit more... Yeah, this is Death from Darksiders, so he's meant to be a little bit more gritty, kind of skeletal-y type, but not by any means a weakling. Oh yeah, you know, something like that maybe. Hope the audio's okay. Check, check, check. Okay, cool. You got the big knee pad. That's just fun. Yeah, and I want to sharpen up that. Yeah, and I gotta remember this goes down farther because the body is not symmetrical. So if I kind of combine this with the kind of the Joe Mad style with the Bart Sears bubble muscles. Yeah, you can kind of see how that gets somewhere relatively quick. And of course, the sword blade is just absolutely gigantic. It's kind of more of a cleaver than a sword at this point, but hey, it's cool by me. Something like that, maybe. Yeah, I figured I'll probably come hang out for a little bit and then might get some work done on some other videos. There's one thing I do like about digital is you can just quickly convert it. New layer, boom. But honestly, this is not a whole lot different than when I do my light erasing with the kneaded eraser. Although sometimes that blue line can be a little hard to see, so you can change it to whatever color you want, but yeah, I'll just light it up like that, so that way I can get a bit more, that way I can see a bit more what I was doing. It's kind of interesting because what he does is he kind of brings the bicep in and then has the, he kind of brings the bicep in like that and then has the elbow here and then the forearm kind of come here. So he makes this kind of the smaller part. Well, I mean, Death is kind of a leaner character compared to, I don't know if you're familiar with the Darksiders world. The character War, you know, he's real big, beefy guy. So, but that's just something kind of interesting. Yeah, try not to zoom in too much. I will a little bit, especially when it comes to like inking and coloring. I don't know if I'm gonna finish this, but this is just kind of a bit of a warm up. There. Just a second here. Uzukraki.exe is now following. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Hope all is well with you. Your art is so cool. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. Uzukraki.exe. Okay, Uzukraki.exe. I want to make sure I get that right. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks for swinging by. Hope all is good with you. Yeah, I'm just doing some warm-up sketches just to kind of get loose. I'm doing a little bit of art studies. So this right here, this stuff is from a guy named Joe Mad, or Joe Madureira is his real name. Everyone calls him Joe Mad. Bro, you can call me you. Fair enough. Fair enough. You it is. I can work with that. But yeah, so I'm a huge fan of Joe Mad, so I've been kind of doing some art studies of his work just to kind of try to steal as much knowledge as I can from him. So um, yeah, and then I'll probably end up doing something a little more finished later on, depending on how we go. My English is not so good. All right, well, tell you what, you're typing it out well enough for me to understand it, so that's a win. May I ask where you're from? PT. PT. Portugal. Oh, right on, dude. Right on. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. Like someone from Portugal is watching right now. That's awesome, man. Thank you. One of these days, I would love to. Yeah, man. Yeah, one of these days, I got to get over to Europe and do some traveling. Huh? Oh, why is that? Why is that? What do you mean? Why is that? I'm sorry. Oh, that's awesome. Well, yeah, it just I don't know. I'm just some random dude in middle of the U.S. and the fact that people from all over the world are able to watch me draw, I just find that really cool. So just love that art lovers live all over the world. Let's see. I'm not exactly excited. You're so fast. Oh, thanks. I start with scribbling mainly. Um, oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, lot of practice. I try to keep it loose and flowy because if you get too caught up in just I'm going to do torso, hips, legs, arms, that kind of stuff. I mean, you can make it work, but it can get kind of stiff real quick. So instead, yeah, kind of keeping it loose and sketchy like that, it kind of helps keep it a little more gestural, a little more, you know, pleasing looking. Keeps it less stiff, a little more energetic. I don't know. Let's see. See if a ton of experience. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. That's the goal. Yeah, well, I've been drawing most of my life. I'm currently in the middle of working on a comic book story that I'm writing the script right now that I'm hoping to draw in the near future. My barbarian character. I don't know if you can see that. This is my character. His name is Dominai. I was doing some script writing earlier today, and I just felt like, you know what, I need to do some drawing. So, um, yeah, gives it more flow. I like it. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. So, are you a comic fan yourself? Let's see. Let's give her a. Let's see. I feel like she needs something here. Yeah. Let's give her a sword. Why not? I also like that sketch on the left, layer visible. It's to the point I want viewers to focus on. Yeah, I like art in general. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, when I'm doing digital stuff like this, I tend to, especially for this kind of thing where I'm just warming up, doing some practice stuff, I kind of like to treat it like a sketchbook. So I'll draw it, shrink it, move it to the side, and then I'll start a new layer. You know, I'll merge those layers down and just kind of keep going. And then eventually, when I'm feeling more warmed up, I'll try to do something a little more finalized, depending on the mood. But yeah, so I don't really know who this is supposed to be, but it's kind of turning into some kind of chick with swords, which I'm cool with. Let's see. Let's kind of have her hand kind of coming up. Looks like a female assassin. Yeah, I guess that's kind of what it's turning into, and I'm cool with that. Let's give her like a kind of mimic this pose up here. Maybe give her a dagger, like she's got a dagger up here. Keeping with the Joe Mad theme, it's just like a giant dagger. And then we can kind of have her looking down like so. And then this, let's see. Oh, no, dude, your writing is great. Your writing is great. I don't know any Portuguese, so I definitely can't talk, but so far I can understand everything you're typing, so yeah. No worries there. I think the only Portuguese I know, I believe, is it obrigado? Is that how you say hello, Portuguese? Obrigado means thank you. Okay, thank you. Well, thanks for correcting me. Obrigado for correcting me. So how do you say hello in Portuguese? Let's give her kind of a belt. Hola. Okay. So, because I know there's some similarities to Spanish, but I know there's a lot of differences too. So I was just kind of curious about that. So, hola means hi. Thank you. I love learning languages. I wish I were fluent in other languages. Hola is Spanish, right? Okay, so is it pronounced differently? I'm sorry if I don't mean to be offensive. I'm just genuinely curious if there's any differences. Uh, okay, it's pronounced differently. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'll have to look up the right way to say that. That sounds pretty like one another. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I love learning different languages. Like when I was working on a film set a while back, we had a bunch of German actors, and so I was talking with them as much as possible because I wanted to learn everything. Sup, Rev? How's it going, brother? Doing good, doing good. Just hanging out, having some fun. Learning a little bit of Portuguese, actually, thanks to you here. Um, but yeah, no, yeah, I learned all the words that would probably get me canceled online in German. Um, and but yeah, I was a PA, meaning I was bottom totem pole, gopher type, uh, job. And yeah, so they were like, so I gave him the water, and the guy goes, Danke schön, and I was like, awesome. I don't know how to respond to that. And then I asked him, I was like, so how do you say you're welcome in German? And he told me, bitte, bitte. So I was like, all right, bitte. I still say that to this day, bitte. Well, I don't know a whole lot of German speaking people, so I don't really get to use it much, but I still remember it, I should say. Yeah, but how are things going with you, Rev? If you're not familiar, Reverend X, great streamer here on the Twitches and the YouTubes. Definitely worth checking them out. Yeah, I was watching some clips of that Who's Knocking on the Door game you were playing, Rev. Dude, that game looked nuts. Going good. Just made my own font, actually. So dude, nice. Can't wait to see it. It was fun. I'm glad it didn't last very long. Speaking tablet. Yeah, I'm using this is a Wacom Cintiq 22 HD that I bought, geez, probably 10 years ago now. And yeah, but I've heard really good things about those XP pens. I also do use I have an iPad that I do a lot of sketching on. I'm a huge Clip Studio Paint fan, so I got it on there. I also use Procreate. This is a 22 inches. I'm not sure what that would be in metric. Let's see. Let's see here. So it says 0.55 meters. Turn to by 151. Yeah, I'm not really sure what that means. Let's see. It kind of looks like this. So there's my hand for size comparison. Yeah, like I said, I've had this guy for 10, 15 years, so it's awesome. Well, they came out with, I mean, I'm never going to be able to afford. Thanks for the after show. Oh, well, you're welcome, man. Hey, I'm glad to help. Glad to help. I know my dream is Wacom came out with that. Was it 30 something? It was like a 36 inch one or something like that. Just this giant screen, and I mean, I'll never be able to afford it because it's stupid expensive. But I absolutely love it. I want one. Honestly, I've never bought a screen protector or a new tip. Honestly, the tips, I've never really had a problem with it. I don't bear down too hard, which kind of helps. I have a pretty light pretty light touch. But yeah, I've never bought a screen protector for this thing, and does it scratch the surface? No, not in my experience. I have not had that issue. They come with a bunch of different tips. So like in the base here, and of course they're all empty on this one, but yeah, in the base they have different tips you can use to get different grips, stuff like that. I'm just using the standard one that they came with. This glass is not super. It's not really textured or anything. It's got just enough grip to give you some control, but not too much to really dig into it. So can't say I can't say other people haven't had that issue, but me personally, I haven't had any problem with it. I'm spinning all on B. That's my man. Yeah, I got this, like I said, about 10 years or so, 10 years ago or so. And I had a really nice tax return that year. So I was able to put that towards this, which was awesome. I still do most of my drawings traditionally, but I do, because I don't know, I still have a lot of fun drawing in sketchbooks. Like this is a Spawn that I did. I did this live 2 days ago now. If you're curious about that, the replay is done is up on my YouTube channel under the same name, Gollum Wolf. And but sometimes it is fun just to get on the tablet and screw around. Question might be deep, but why do you like art? Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know a time that I haven't been interested in art, in drawing and storytelling. You have a cool art piece over there. Oh, thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah, that's the Spawn, and then the other guy's my Domini character from my book. But I've always loved storytelling. I've always been a big fan of storytelling in any way that we can do it. And to me, art is a form of storytelling. And I don't know. I've always had this mindset of I don't know. I was always a little bit of a rebellious kid. Like, if you're gonna make me do something, then I'm not gonna be interested. And art was just one of those things where it's like nobody could tell me if I was doing it wrong or not. So there's a little bit of that. But I don't know. Just I love the creativity and just seeing the images people can create. If you ever look up a guy like Frank Frazetta or Joe Mad, whom I got here, just like you see some of the stuff those guys make, and it's just like I want to do that. I made a point like I think every artist has, or any creator of some kind, creative of some kind, they have somebody that they watch. Like, we'll use art as an example, but yeah, we're like, that art is just so good, I can't stand it. I need to draw like right now. So guys like Frank Frazetta, Joe Mad, J. Scott Campbell. I mean, that list can go on and on and on. Simon Bisley. There's an endless list of that. But yeah, I love storytelling. So my first, I was always drawing, but my first love was film actually, and I ended up going to film school and did some short films, did a bunch of corporate wedding videos, corporate stuff, that kind of thing. Unfortunately, I was living in Michigan at the time, and the industry kind of died out there. It's a long story. So I did like I said, a bunch of wedding videos, things like that, and it kind of, I don't know, that got old pretty fast. So, but comics, illustration, that kind of thing, it's always been there, and I didn't need anybody's permission. I could just do it. I could just draw whatever the heck I wanted. So, long-winded answer, but hopefully that answers it. But yeah, like a lot of people, I grew up with superheroes as a kid, and um, I gravitated to characters like the Wolverine. He was one of my favorites because he was this guy. He's real rough, tough guy. I had a bit of a chip on my shoulder growing up, and yeah, here he was, this good guy. He was a good dude. He was real rough, tough guy, but you know what? He was a good dude. He was protective, and yeah, I loved him. And then then I discovered guys like the Punisher and Daredevil, and um, man, it was all she wrote. It's like, oh yeah, no, this stuff's awesome. Love it. Different from the image we have for heroes. Different from the image we have for heroes. Oh yeah, interesting. What's your? I'm curious about that. So, do you have a different over there in Portugal? Do you guys have a different kind of look at heroes, or that might be a loaded question? I don't know, but that's really fascinating to me. Yeah, because I like the hero. I like the heroes that are self-sacrificing. They're um, that put other people. Oh, that's fine. Don't worry about it. um, I'm not sure how else to make that. Well, you said different from the image we have for heroes, so I wasn't sure if like like in Portugal, for example, if you guys have a different look at heroes compared to like we do in the U.S. I don't know if that question makes any sense, but I was just fascinated by that response. That might be a dumb question, so if that's the case, feel free to ignore it. Let's just give her like a mask. One second here. Do, 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 do. Because he has to. Here, as we see, they tend to. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. Let's see. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, no, I agree that. Yeah, I like heroes that. Yeah, Wolverine. He's kind of that reluctant hero. Yeah, I kind of like that sacrificial version. Yeah, I mean yeah, starting out definitely he just wanted to be left alone. He didn't want anybody to rely on him. He just wanted to get left alone, especially when he got out of Weapon X and all that. But then he kind of became that surrogate father figure to Kitty Pryde, and then later on to Rogue. And yeah, when he started, when he got into the X-Men, he started, working for something bigger than himself, and saw the importance of that. And um, yeah, he has a lot of sacrificial moments. But yeah, no, I agree with you on that. He does, yeah, he does the right thing, because yeah, he feels it's the right thing to do, even if it's a sacrificial on his part. So yeah, it sounds like we're more or less in agreement on that. But yes, because if you get those characters that do, um, yeah, the right thing purely for selfish reasons, then you're kind of looking more to the anti-hero, kind of like the Punisher character. Which again, I love the Punisher, but yeah, I'm not saying he's a hero by any means. He's kind of a crazy vigilante. He's just kind of more of that fantasy fulfillment, of like, yeah, you just see some crook and you just wish you could just deal with it, take out the trash. Okay, I think I'm just kind of noodling on this one, so we'll just put her here. I want to keep going on this concept though, so we're gonna go ahead and bring that down, make a new layer. I'm gonna try. Yeah, exactly. Anti-heroes for sure, for sure. Yeah, I love those characters. Yeah, that like yeah, I like the anti-heroes too. They I don't know. It just depends on the characters. I also love characters like Superman, who's just like, I'm just a good guy because of the sake of good. But yeah, but I also do love those anti-heroes that are like, look, I'm just gonna get down and dirty because nobody else is going to. Gonna do the right thing because nobody else will. And let's see. Let's see. Let's have her kind of like this. Maybe her legs are up. Oh, I want to make sure. Common mistake I see, and I still do it too, is making the leg, when they bend the leg forward, making it come out way too high up on the pelvis. You gotta forget that there actually is a bone there, so that is in the way. So, who are some of your favorite characters? You started my journey at what age? Oh man, my whole life. I don't really remember a time that I wasn't drawing, but I think the first time I really took it seriously was Venom. Yeah, there you go. Venom's awesome. But I think I really started taking it seriously when I was in elementary school. I was probably like 10, 11, maybe. I mean, keep in mind, I've been doodling and drawing and whatnot all that time, but um, my school in elementary, they used to do these um, catalog type things every so many times a year, where you could take them home to your parents, and there'd be a bunch of books there that you could um, beg your parents to buy for you. And there was this Marvel book. So you're in your 30s? Yes, I am in my 30s. In my mid 30s, as a matter of fact. I appreciate you not guessing higher. But yeah, so anyway, this book came in, and I still got it somewhere. But yeah, it was the first one that showed me how to do the skeleton structure, and that's kind of where I really learned how to break down form and all that stuff. Sorry, 1 second, guys. I unplugged my headphones apparently. Yeah, I don't really need them, I guess. Oh well. But yeah, no, it was really cool. It was the first time I ever saw the whole thing of they would. You have any advice for me to learn? Yeah, dude. I mean, the basics of drawing anything, I always tell anybody is, um, first of all, lighten up a lot on the pressure. If you're drawing with a pencil or anything, I know there's that tendency, and I had this too, where you just like really dig into the paper or the tablet, and what that does is it kind of makes your lines really stiff and unwieldy. So what I like to do is on pencil, especially at the beginning of the stage of the drawing, hold really far away on the pencil on the page. I'm sorry, on the pencil. So like, even if I'm drawing with a real pencil like this, I'm holding pretty far away. That's forcing me to lighten my hand up and allows me to get looser. There's this tendency that a lot of people have where they feel like they want to try to get the perfect line right from the get go, and you, that's just not necessary. That's just not how it works. There we go. And then and the other thing is everything in existence can be broken down to three simple 3D shapes. You can do a cube, oh, being better as a person. Oh, geez. Wow, you're really getting into the deep there. Honestly, oof, I don't know if I'm qualified to answer a question like that. I listen to there's a great podcast by a great dude named Jocko Willink. He's a former Navy SEAL. And then another guy named Tim Kennedy, who's a Green Beret. They both have podcasts and books, stuff like that. I've learned a ton from them. Just I don't know, not taking life too seriously and not being too bothered by jerks out there trying to cut you down or tear you down. Just keep things focused on where you want to go, and put others first. Stay humble. Be confident, but be humble. Those kinds of things. Very generic. That's a pretty big question. So hopefully that, I don't know if that helped at all, but hopefully, I don't know. I've just learned to laugh at a lot. Let's see, I kind of want her to have. So I'm guessing you're a bit younger then, are you? You don't have to tell me your age or anything, but I hit 20. When I hit 20, I start asking the big questions about life. No, I get it, man. Hey, I get it. I was way too dumb in my 20s to ask those kinds of questions, so I respect it wholeheartedly. But yeah, like I said, those guys that I mentioned, there's a book by Jocko Willink called Extreme Ownership. I recommend that book to literally anybody. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, get that book, Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. That'll tell you just about everything you need. What's up, Master Figures? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Hope you're good. Were you able to finish that Spawn drawing? So I know you said you were drawing along at one point. Let's see. I'm kind of doing this. Kind of pose, and then maybe she's got her hands like that. Not yet. No worries. No worries. See that no one. Dude, yeah, I mean, yeah, I admit this is getting a little bit heavier than what I intended for the stream to get, but um, there's always help out there, dude. If you're feeling lost, feeling whatever, there's always help out there. Don't let it get you down. No, it's all good, man. It's all good. Well, I don't know. I'm a Christian. I'm a believer myself. I don't know if you feel the same, but there's a great Bible verse that I really like, Psalm 118. There's a good line in there. that said, though the nations surround me in every side, in the name of the Lord I cut them down. Just kind of gives you that whole kind of that fight. But yeah, get that book. Check it out. Get some help in your area. Hopefully you'll find something. Good. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. But Master Figures, you're doing it digitally? That's awesome, man. Are you just curious, what program are you using, if I might ask? Sounds good. Yeah, and I highly recommend checking out the Jackal Willock podcast. Krita, yeah, I'm definitely aware of Krita. I haven't messed around with it a whole lot lately. I tried it. Yeah, I tried it a while back, and I thought it was really cool, especially for being a free program. I know they've done a lot of updates to it since then, so which is awesome. But yeah, when I'm on my PC, I'm definitely a Clip Studio guy. So I'm just so comfortable with it. But yeah, that's awesome. Yep. Oh, that's cool. Oh, they had animation on it now. That's awesome. Let's see. Trying to figure out how I. Yeah, I'm not much of an animator myself. Yeah, Master Figures. Yeah, just curious. Like, what program are you using digitally? Like, are you using Procreate or using Clip Studio or um, just out of curiosity? Yeah, no, I have all the respect in the world for animation. I don't have the patience for it. I'm a still image guy, a single image guy. Honestly, if Krita does what you need it to do, man, I wouldn't worry about Photoshop. Frankly, um, I'm not the biggest fan of what do you call it? Using a drawing tablet. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Adobe right now. So with the way they price everything, so yeah. So I know if you got something that's working for you, fantastic. Let's see. Let's bring. You know what? Let's do this. Let's bring this knee out. Oop. Tell you what. I'm just. It's unbelievable, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Got something like that, maybe. And then have her foot kind of like this. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, there's a good practice for drawing. Yeah, called Quick Sketch or gesture drawing, or it's kind of all the same thing depending on what people call it. But there's tons of tools online. Like QuickPose.com is a great one for that. Are you drawing a woman character? Yes, I am. Thank you. Yeah, and basically you set it to like 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute, depending on what you need, depending on how challenging you want it to be. And then you just try to get the very essence of that figure down. So instead of doing something like this, it would just be kind of like, well, whoa, 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 you know, something like that. And it may not look like much at all, but it kind of forces you to get that movement real quick. And that comes with also lightening up on the pencil a lot. I kind of react to the pencil. I kind of react to it as I go. I'm not great at planning. So sometimes, like, I'll have an idea going in, like, you know, I want to draw a female assassin, so I'm kind of building off of this character right here. And as far as the flowing lines go, I've been doing it for so long now that I don't really. And a lot of it's kind of muscle memory at this point for me. So instead, I'm always focusing on trying to make really interesting shapes and trying to, like, what's the coolest way to, you know, to show what I'm trying to say with this piece, but also make it clear so people understand it. So there's no, like, there's no confusion, because, like, I have a page. You can find it on my Instagram and Twitter, I think, but you can find it on both of those. But I did a page, and it was like a World War I type story, and I drew this box in the back where I put, like, the Red Cross logo. It was meant to be like a med kit type box, and you know, I put a lot of detail on it, and I was really happy with it. And then I showed it to my family, and my sister goes, "Oh, I love those windows you put back there." And I was like, "Oh, that." So that meant that I definitely failed in terms of representing that. I think the best place to start, because they're the ones with the most curves, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, hey, whatever. Yeah, whatever you think is, yeah, wherever you want to start. I personally find female characters or women to be a whole lot less forgiving to draw in my experience. Because, like, with dudes, you can just give them a bunch of jagged edges and a bunch of lines, and it makes them look more masculine. But with women, it does the same thing, so it just makes them look more manly. So instead of defining all the musculature, yeah, relying on curves and the outline is definitely the way to go. But I know there are other people that feel differently, that say they think that women just come more naturally for them to draw, which is great. So yeah, try them both, and don't worry too much about, again, getting it perfect right off the get go. Because as you can see, I'm scribbling quite a lot here, because I'm just giving myself that ability to, and hopefully that will turn into a better piece in the long run. So anyway, so I gotta give her daggers here. Since I'm kind of doing a Joe Mad style thing, I might as well make these daggers just huge. Like so. You're not that easy to draw. No, I'm not that easy to draw either. I mean, there's a line weights. Yeah, for sure, man. It's all good stuff to know, for sure. As far as, yeah, characters that draw really good, female character or artists that draw really good women. I mean, you can't go wrong with Frank Frazetta. I think Aaron Lopresti does a great job. Of course, I love Joe Mad. I love anything Joe Mad draws. J. Scott Campbell, really well known for it. I mean, that list goes on. But yeah, there's a guy on the internet I saw. I don't know his real name, but I just know the name Wave Loop. I found him on Instagram. I mean, that guy draws anything well. But yeah, I really like how he draws his female characters. I think I might give her one of those kind of ninja mask type things. And then we I can have the eyes here. Or maybe I can do this and then give her like the little hair in the face, and then oh, it's not easy drawing women. Yeah. No, okay, fair enough. Yeah, no, it's all good, man. It's all good. Yeah, no, I find women a challenge, which is why which is one of the reasons why I'm kind of doing this right now, just kind of as a test. I don't know, Master Figures. I don't know if you were there for that. When I was trying to draw that Wonder Woman piece, I got to a point where it wasn't working for me, and so I needed to yeah, do some study, do some working out. Yeah, hey, just do the hard thing first, by all means. But yeah, no, for the longest time, my female characters just looked like skinny dudes with boobs, and it was not a it was not good. Like to think I've gotten better than that, better now. But let's see. You know what? Just for funsies, we'll just kind of throw like a little. Kind of a little alleyway in the background. Some awnings. I'm completely cheating on this perspective, but it's all right. It's kind of a wise, mature man eyes. Okay, all right. Let's see. Let's see. Well, you know, the basic eye is a sphere, right? So, um, give it a famous look like, yeah, for sure. Tell you what, let me try this eye, then I'll try covering a bit of of women. But you know, the eye, you know, kind of like this. That's a little bit more of a kind of a feminine eye, right? Where you kind of go a little more rounded, like so, and then you can kind of highlight the eyelid, and then you get the eyeball like that. But if you want more of a masculine kind of wise look, personally, I thought the actor Bruce Willis, I used him a lot for kind of, I really like his eye shape because, which sounds a little weird, but you know, his eyes kind of, that line where his eyelid is, it kind of overlaps and comes down, and then he's got real square upper lid. Kind of like that, and then you can kind of add the tear duct. And then it kind of sits on the eye, and then you can kind of have, you know, and then since it's supposed to be more of an older guy, or like yeah, you can add all those different lines under the eye. You know, really emphasize that eyelid there, and then you know, add the thing, the cheekbone. So anyway, hope that helps at least as far as getting the eyes going. But as far as female faces go, yeah, I know that's been a tough one for me. David Finch on YouTube has a great video how he does it, but it's kind of hard. You know, it's pretty advanced. So the main thing for me when I'm trying to plan out my male versus female characters, a lot of times with my dudes, I'll kind of do more of a square face, you know, kind of the base, and then get the jawline. Oh, good. I'm glad that helped. So, guys, I tend to base it more square. And then, of course, this is all cartooning too, but you know, I use a lot more hard edge shapes, wider jawline. You can raise the eyes a little bit higher to the forehead. Yeah, generally, when the lower the eyes are on the head, the more youthful they look. And yeah, so if you're trying to draw a female character, you generally want to lower the eyes from the forehead, let more of that forehead show, unless they have like bangs or something from the haircut, from their hairline. But yeah, so when you're drawing dudes, I like to really just, especially if it's like especially if I'm drawing Domini or something, I like to just really shove all the eyes and nose features up, and then bring the mouth a little bit down, really angularize everything. I mean, this is a really rough drawing, obviously, but oh, thanks. Yeah, I've drawn a lot of faces in my day. So then, if you want to do that, but then female character, I tend to think a little bit more in rounded, soft shapes. Kind of like that, and then you can kind of. So instead of getting that real hard edge on the jaw like I got this guy here, just kind of soften it up a bit. And then, lower the eyes on the face. Because again, the lower eyes, are a little more youthful, kind of that cutesy look. You can kind of round the eyes out depending on the type of character she is. If she's meant to be more of like a villain, you can really angular. Yeah, you can kind of sharpen that edge a bit, but yeah, if she's meant to be more of like a cutesy kind of girl next door kind of look, you can really round the eyes out. Yeah, just make sure everything's just a little bit softer and use a whole lot less lines on the face. And then the classics, smaller nose, thinner, lips, but of course you're going to have a little thicker bottom lip, thicker upper lip, bottom lip, smaller ear. And I'm saying this for me as well, so this is actually helping me put it in perspective. So hopefully that was helpful. Then yeah, you can kind of give her the hairline here, and then you can give her whatever hairstyle you want. But yeah, with guys, I really like to emphasize that cheekbone. I mean, girls you can kind of too. Again, it depends on the character. Kind of depends on the character. Oh, so okay, the shiny lips. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's try that. Okay. Let's move her out of the way. Well, to make anything shiny, all you got to do is have some shadow around it. Oh, lipstick. Gotcha, lipstick. Okay, well, lipstick is going to be more in the coloring, obviously. I'm not going to pretend to be a fashion cosmetology expert. So, as far as picking lipstick colors, that's something I'm just going to have to use reference for whenever I'm designing characters. But if you want it to look shiny, you can kind of you can kind of break anything down into basic shapes. So, if you kind of got the middle of the lip, of the top lip there, then you kind of got these kind of the wings on the side, kind of like that. Then if you treat the bottom lip, kind of like that. Now, this is really exaggerated, obviously, but hopefully it's at least making the point. And then you can kind of yeah, and then if you want like like a highlight, you can just kind of do a little something like that, and then just kind of shade it up. You know, because like I was talking about, everything can be broken down into simple shapes. So the bottom lip is basically broken down into spheres. I mean, this is if she's got real, you know, plump lips, I guess, if you want to call it that. But you can just kind of follow that form. And then, yeah, just make sure, yeah, you got that highlight there. So when you're doing your colors, you just make sure to leave that little spot white, and then the contrast of that makes it look shiny. So hopefully that was helpful. Okay. Not personally, no. I come from doing line work, so I tend to do a lot more like cross hatching. So like if I'm doing a sphere, you know, I'll just kind of do lines like this to kind of create the form, and then I'll just black it out here. That's just kind of the style that I'm kind of used to, or the line technique. I mean, nothing wrong with blending tools. If people use them, great. And I've seen a lot of people do that. I'm when it comes to like painting and stuff like that, if that's what you're referring to, I'm pretty much I'm very much a novice when it comes to painting. I'm much more comfortable with line work. I want to give her, let's see. I want to give her like a, I don't know, I just kind of had this thought of giving her kind of like a little cape thing, kind of like a hood cape thing that kind of hangs over the one shoulder. I don't know, this may be stupid, but try this out. Okay. And one thing when you're drawing digitally, well, even traditionally, you know, it's always good to flip the canvas. Those buildings, yeah, these are meant to be buildings. They're roughly placed right now. I kind of imagine just her. I just kind of imagine a scene of her leaping at somebody in some kind of village of some kind. She looks like she jumped. Perfect. That's what I'm going for. She's coming for the kill. Okay, so let's go ahead and lighten that down. And then since I am doing it digitally, I can just go right to ink, which is pretty nice. You know what? Let's see. This is a 9 by 12, 9 inches by 12 inches at 300 DPI. This might be a little bit overkill for if you're going to be just leaving it digital or leaving it online, just posting it online, but 300 DPI allows you to print, and it gives a good line resolution. As far as pixels go, let's see here. So I don't know if you can see that. It's 2700 by 3600. Perfect. Yeah, that's just kind of my standard for, yeah, no worries, man. That's just kind of my standard I like to go to when I'm sketching. You know what? I'm just going to, tell you what, because I can, I'm just going to ink this with a black pencil tool. And the other thing, too, with digital brushes, don't get caught up on the names. Just because it says it's a pencil doesn't mean you have to treat it like a pencil. If it gives you the line you want, then that's what matters. Let's see. Maybe I'm not ready to ink it yet. Yeah, it's funny. I feel like I'm actually a faster artist drawing on paper and pencil for some reason. I'm okay with keeping this a little bit sketchy. And if you're wondering, that whole flipping the canvas thing like that, that allows you to spot any kind of skewing issues, things like that. I think her face is a little too small, so her head's a bit too small. So let's go ahead and make that bigger. Not quite that big. Something like that. Yeah, I like that. I realize this isn't the most unique hairstyle, but that's all right. For now, we can work on it. You can make her look hurt with scars on the scalp, which make her hair stop growing in parts. Yeah, on the scalp. That's an idea. That's an idea. You can kind of have little patches. Kind of give her the little, that thing, give her hair. Yeah, on her scalp. Yeah, she's not a very nice character. So, yeah, I might be. You know what? Tell you what. Well, let's try. Yeah, I don't know if I want to go full on scar like in the hairline, but I can definitely do that in the eyebrows. Maybe she's got some scarring there in the eyebrows. And make her eyebrows a little harder to grow. Something like that, maybe. Yeah. Kind of digging that. Armor corset. Yeah, I was kind of thinking something like some kind of corset or something like that. I got this kind of playing with this idea of her having some kind of hood fabric thing, like she's kind of got wrapped around her neck and over her shoulders. And then yeah, I could try doing like a corset thing under her. Kind of. I'm gonna have to look that up. Look up some reference on how to make that look good. And I see like a tear up fabric. Yeah. We can tear the fabric up for sure. She's had a long night, maybe. maybe this hit didn't quite go to plan, and that's why she's forced to attack just right out in the open. Maybe she intended to do it silently, and just for whatever reason, it just didn't work out the way she'd hoped, and now she's forced to put herself in harm's way. Do it the ugly way. With long boots with heavy spikes. I don't know if I want to do the spikes. I feel like that might make her. I don't know. I kind of want to keep her light looking. I'm worried that doing the spikes might make her a little too heavy. If that makes sense. If she were like if she were a warrior type character, yeah, I could definitely see that. But any strings, yeah, I might do some laces, things like that. She's definitely got gauntlets. And then Something which makes her look more feminine. Yeah, maybe. That's an idea. Maybe have her arms exposed or something. Yeah, well, they're supposed to be gloves. I admit hands are not my strong suit. Figure, you know, for jobs as an assassin, she's probably gonna want to wear some sort of gloves or hand coverings or something like that. No one's bro, trust me. Sorry, I'm not sure what that means. Oh, hands not your strong suit. Yeah, okay, yeah, I think I got you. I got you. Yeah, hands are a constant struggle for me. But yeah, I could probably do this little kind of fabric thing around her, and then have the arms, have her upper arms be bare. That'll allow me to show a little bit of muscle tone. Now, because she's a female character, I don't want to like define the muscles like I would on a man. Where you just where you just come in and you're like, here's the tricep, bicep brachii, all that. I mean, I guess you can, but to really keep it a feminine look, you kind of want to stick with the outlines. Because you run that risk too with, I don't know, it's a strange thing. Like, there's these rib muscles called the serratus, and like men and women obviously both have them. But when you draw them on men, they look muscular. But when you draw them on women, they look starved. Like they look emaciated. It's so bizarre. I've noticed that with drawing like musculature on women too. You also don't want her to look like she's roided out either. So. It's beginning to look a little like something. Let's see. Yeah, maybe she can. There, a little bit of the. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. So it looks like she's got a gauntlet on. And then we can. Yeah, that shape has got to be like the least effective dagger known to man. Okay. There we go. That looks like a dagger someone could actually use as a dagger. So let's do that over here. I feel like she uses venom in some way. Yeah, she's probably. Yeah, maybe she's got some like poison tit on her daggers, like on the tips of her daggers. She's probably got, I mean, I can give her like all these pouches just full of stuff. Maybe she's got, some kind of like Rob Liefeld pouch just full of stuff. Like smoke bombs and who knows. Anyway, I kind of want to try that. Yeah. This dagger doesn't have to be an exact duplicate. Maybe they're just different manufacturers. But I do want this blade to at least look, you know, like it could stab somebody. And the gauntlet comes up to the back of her hand. And then, yeah, so we got the hood here. Seems like she would fit in a world like Arcane's city under Piltover. Yeah, I can see that. Maybe I'm subconsciously kind of thinking that. Who knows? I keep unplugging my headphone. Keep sitting on my headphone cord and keep unplugging it. So I got to figure something out there. Nope. But yeah, no, I could definitely see that. That'd be fun. She could like drop a smoke cloud and steal. Like she paid to kill or acquire or steal something from a client. Yeah. Definitely. Tell you what, this gauntlet's kind of thicker, so I kind of like that, how thick that gauntlet is. So I think I might replicate that on this side too. I can justify giving her a little thicker gauntlet. Let's see, give her... What name would you give her? I don't know, man. That's a good question. What do you think? That's a good question. Samara? Okay. That could work. Samara. Let's see. I kind of like Samara a little better than Beta personally, but well, Samara makes me think of Mass Effect, which is not in a bad way by any means. Yeah, I like Samara. Or let's see. I don't know. Samara the Extinguisher. Oh, I like it. I like it. Well, I ran a quite a long time ago. I ran a like a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, and I had an assassin girl. Went by the code name Whisper. So I don't know. Maybe that's something like that. Maybe Samara, the Whisper of Death. Your death. No, you got it. You got it. I knew what you meant. Samara, the Extinguisher. You can make her like, Samara, the Whisper of Death, coming for you next week. Thanks. I have an unhealthy obsession with impressions and accents and all that stuff. Thanks, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for indulging me. During one of my live streams, or one of my past streams, I did a live reading or a dramatic reading of a little comic book scene. It's up on my YouTube if you like. You should look for a job in that field. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks. I have been kind of looking. We'll see what happens. it's not exactly an easy field to get into. So hopefully, if I try that, try drawing, try getting online, streaming, hopefully something will hit. Extra income, definitely, definitely. That could be a lot of fun. I remember back in the day, was it when they were making Mass Effect 3? No, when they were making Mass Effect Andromeda, that's what it was. They were still working on it, and they had this contest where you could submit a voice sample. They had a script you could read, and then yeah, whoever won got to actually play a role in the game. And so I submitted. Of course, I didn't win, but then um, when you played that character in the game, you're like, wow, that's the person they. I mean, not to be mean, but you're just like, okay, well, yeah, they. I don't. Yeah, maybe it wasn't the voice. Maybe I'm sure it was probably the directing. But yeah, that voice was very flat. I guess I'm sure that's the way. Thank you, thank you. But now, if I don't know if you're familiar with the Mass Effect games. It's one of my favorite game trilogies. I want to be a Krogan. They're these like big lizard guys. Um, yeah, these big lizard guys. There's a main one of the main ones I love. His name is Rex, or not Rex. And the when you meet him, the police officers of the villa or of the space station are talking to him, basically saying, "We know you got a hit, scat. You've been hired to put a hit out on this guy. Leave him alone." And he's all like, "I don't take orders from you." And then the police officer's like, "Last chance, Rex. Stand aside." He's like, "I will kill him." And the guy's like, um, and the guy's all like, "You want me to arrest you?" And he's like, "I want you to try." I want you to try. And you're just like, oh, I love this guy so much. Thanks, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. You're making me feel very good about myself right now, so thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. It didn't even cringe. Perfect. That's the goal. That's the goal, of course. Um, Thanks, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, I know. One thought I had would be kind of something would be kind of fun is doing yeah some kind of like dramatic readings of comic books that I like. Like I said, I kind of did an impromptu one in a live stream. I cut I clipped it out and put it on my YouTube channel. So if you want to check that out, it was a little Wolverine scene that was drawn by Joe Madureira, who's one of my art heroes. It was just a fun scene. Wolverine just being a badass. Yeah, definitely. Oh, thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out. Definitely have to check that out. Okay. I'm okay with this being a bit sketchy. I think most of this is just going to get filled in because I really don't want you looking in these corners too much. I want you to be looking at her face right here. I don't really want you looking at these. These are just kind of more background elements. Yeah, I just did my best, like, "Hey, bub," kind of thing. Um, yeah, one of my highlights of my life was when I was in film school. My school did a every end of every semester. Oh, I'm still going for it, man. I'm still doing it. It's not like I'm stopping from doing it. It's just yeah. I just haven't had a chance really to really branch out into that too much. Just haven't really had the opportunity come to light yet. But still working on it. Yeah, maybe. Well, the big thing is a lot of that stuff is done in LA, and I don't want to live in LA. um, but no, there's a website where all of those auditions and stuff are done, and it costs quite a bit of money to be a member there. Um, and I don't have a ton of extra money to put towards it right now, so I'm trying to kind of doing my own thing and um, putting it out there and see if I can do some stuff independently if anything opens up. I'm talking. I got a lot of friends I'm talking with. So hopefully we can get something working. But I really do appreciate the encouragement, man. Appreciate that. Thank you. Drone spawn right now. Awesome. Can't wait to see it when it's done. See, I don't like that because that's cutting right over her elbow. It's causing kind of an awkward tangent. Oh yeah, there's an art thing. Tangents are a big no-no. So what a tangent is when a line crosses another line in a way that's destroys the illusion of depth. So basically, what we don't, yeah. So one thing you want to avoid is a line like right through the joints. So like I had a line right here through that elbow, and that just made it really awkward. But like, let's say I had a guy coming at her with a sword, and that sword, like the edge of the sword, handled like that, like where it just touched right on her knee. That would just look really awkward. Um, and which is something that could totally happen in real life. But in art, even photorealistic art, tangents are something you want to avoid. So there you go. You could create a portfolio to archive your work so you can have a show or someone who has contacts in the work field. Yeah. I mean, all my streams are archived on my YouTube channel. Like I said, and I've got some projects down the pike that I'm working on. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, I'd love to do some audiobooks or I don't know. I love to do any of that kind of stuff. Do you utilize both sides? Yep, I dual stream to both. So I don't know how long Twitch lets the. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't know how long Twitch keeps everything up on their site. So I know YouTube is up there forever. So I like to do both. Well, and people have their preferences. Some people like Twitch. Some people prefer YouTube. So this way they can watch whichever one they want. Let's see, what time is it here? Looks like we're getting close to about 1:30 my time, so I might have to. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna be able to get to color this stream, but well, I'll see if I can get this finished up and posted online at some point in the near future. This is more just kind of for fun, messing around, but I've been having a blast. Yeah. Use popping around back and forth. Love it. I had fun. Well, thanks, man. No, I've had fun too. This is fun. Well, I love creating characters and coming up with ideas like that. I love that stuff. So, um, yeah, well, like I said, I'm working on my own. I'm writing my own comic book script right now. My barbarian character, his name is Dominai. It's going to be a kind of like a fantasy action horror book. Um, and honestly, this is a character I might be able to incorporate into that, which is kind of sweet. Yeah, I don't know if I should. I think you were here when I showed this earlier. This is my Dominai character, and well, thank you for wasting your time with mine at the very least. Looks like the profile pic. Yeah, he's kind of loose on that. I drew that profile pic years ago, and I don't know. I was pretty proud of how that turned out, so I kind of stuck with that similar design. I've been thinking about thinking about updating it, redoing it, but I don't know. Still figuring out exactly what I'd want to do. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think I have a soft spot in my heart for the barbarian genre. You know, guys like Conan, things like that. But I feel like there's a lack of good barbarian stuff out there, with exceptions, of course. There's a guy named Andy Smith who has a fantastic barbarian book called Kordrath. If you like barbarian stuff, that's really, I mean, that's an easy recommend. But yeah. Anyway, I'm just kind of noodling at this point. So, um, oh, I guess. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Much appreciated. Yeah, I learned the hard way long ago that my face is just better when adorned with facial hair. Um, and I've just accepted that fact. So yeah. Okay. Well, actually, you know what? I haven't been flipping, so this might be. Let's do a flip. This might be really bad. Okay, 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 okay. Here we go. Here we go. Flip. Ah, you know what? Not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, you know, hey, not too bad. All right, I can live with that. Their face is a little wide, in my opinion. There we go. That's kind of. Yeah, I didn't want to. Okay, we can give her kind of a little dark spot on the top of her hair here. It didn't hurt. That's good. Yeah. Well, that's funny because like when I go, you know, because like I've been drawing traditionally for quite a while lately, and it's been a little bit since I've actually gotten on and drawn here on the clip, and I always forget. It's one of those things when I draw digital, I always try to make sure I'm keeping track of the flip. Ain't there tools that help with perspective backgrounds? Yes, there are fantastic background tools, but for this drawing, since I'm just kind of this is kind of more of a fun, kind of a simple sketch. I'm not really worried about making it perfect. I've done a lot of perspective study in the past, so I don't know. I feel comfortable more or less just kind of faking it, but like this is just a really tight 1 point perspective basically. So if I look at it here, the managing point's probably going to be something like that, maybe, I guess. But a little bit of a twist. And I guess I could, no. Kind of coming down like that, so probably could make these even more extreme, but I don't know. I'm just kind of winging it. Just kind of faking it. But yeah, the perspective tools are fantastic for more advanced drawings. Fake it till you make it. Exactly. Well, that's also kind of a speed thing too. Like when you're on a deadline trying to get something done quick, you know, messing with all the perspective grids and trying to set all that stuff up. Like, yeah, it may lead to a better drawing, or a more correct, I should say, drawing, but it just kind of gets, I don't know, it can just kind of slow you down. And since this is just kind of a quick sketch for fun, I figured, what the heck. But, let's see, what time is it? Okay, yeah, I probably should get going. But, oh yeah, you know what? I haven't done yet. Ooh, haven't saved this. Let's go ahead and save. Save that as, what was it? Samara? Yeah, let's do that. Samara. The assassin. There. Alrighty, and then I may or may not get back to this, at least on streaming. Who knows? I usually hey, whatever works for you, man. Whatever works. So awesome. Well, oh, hey, thanks, Dad. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I think this is probably a good time to call it here. Actually, I might be able to access some of my previous artwork if you indulge me here. I do every Tuesday night. I do a live art stream where I started out with a particular character in mind. I will be traveling this coming Tuesday, so I'm actually going to be doing it Monday instead this week. Then we'll pick it up. I'm going to draw Guile from Street Fighter, which will be a lot of fun. And if you're interested in more of my artwork, you can find me under Gollum Wolf on X as well as Instagram. So please, check me out there if you see anything you like. Let me know. I have there's a lot of traditional artwork on there that is available if someone's interested. I also am open for commissions. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know. But otherwise, thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, man. This has been fun. And Master Figures, again, thanks for showing up. And Dan, sorry you came in just towards the end there, but it's good seeing you. and everybody, thanks so much for hanging out. And I will see you, Monday at 7 o'clock Central Time. So for you, I'm not sure what that would be for you in the where you're at or Master Figures, but 7 o'clock Central Time this coming Monday, I will be drawing Guile, and I will be doing that on the old pencil and paper. So see you guys then, and thanks again for hanging out, and I'll talk to you later. All right, bye.